2 years after Betty White's passing, the world has marveled at her boundless energy, her infectious laughter, and her decades-long career that spanned radio, television, and film. But behind the scenes, her family held on to one secret so extraordinary that even close friends thought it too fantastical to be true. Tonight, you'll hear how Betty's loved ones safeguarded a hidden chapter of her life, one that reshapes our understanding of the beloved icon and explains why she chose to reveal nothing until now. From the moment she lit up our black and white screens as Sue and Nivens on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, Betty's public persona radiated warmth and comedic genius. Yet insiders say her private world was punctuated by a project so unconventional that it never made a single press release. While producers and press agents wrangled over Emmy nominations and talk show appearances, Betty was quietly charting plans for what she believed could change lives long after her curtain call. As she approached her 98th birthday, she entrusted her closest confidants with documents, legal paperwork, and even a coded journal detailing her vision, a vault of plans so sensitive that not even her longtime agent knew the full scope. Imagine the scene: a cozy living room anchored by a plush, pastel sofa where Betty regularly greeted visitors. On the coffee table lay scattered scripts, dog treats for her beloved four-legged companions, and a manila envelope stamped, "Open upon my departure." For years, her family debated the right moment to unseal it, fearing that the world might misinterpret her intentions or that corporate lawyers would swoop in to claim any tangible assets. They waited for the dust of tabloids to settle, allowing Betty's legacy to stand on its own before unveiling the secret she carried in silence. So what did that envelope hold? Inside, they discovered a blueprint for an educational initiative unlike any charity Betty supported publicly. It was a fully fleshed-out plan for a nationwide intergenerational program linking senior citizens with at-risk youth, an idea born from moments Betty shared at family dinners, lamenting how isolated elderly neighbors suffered without human connection and how young people lacked mentors outside school. She envisioned Betty's Bridge, a network of community centers where laughter, storytelling, and life lessons would flow freely between decades, all facilitated by carefully designed curricula and volunteer training guides Betty had drafted with the help of educational experts over the last 5 years of her life. Her family didn't just find a basic outline. They found contracts with municipalities in 3 pilot cities, letters of intent from nonprofit partners, and even a naming rights agreement negotiated with a philanthropic foundation that pledged seed funding. Betty had quietly enlisted architects to design adaptable modular community spaces that could retrofit existing senior centers or youth shelters. She consulted with psychologists to structure sessions that balanced humor, memory-sharing exercises, and reciprocal skill-building workshops, like gardening, reading comprehension, smartphone tutorials, and improvisational theater. Behind her trademark smile lay an acute understanding of human psychology, a rare synergy of compassion and strategic planning. Perhaps the most astonishing element was Betty's own role. She planned to personally host monthly kickoff events, traveling from city to city well into her centenarian years. In video recordings hidden on encrypted drives, she spoke with unwavering clarity. Laughter is medicine, and wisdom is a gift meant to be shared. She outlined keynote addresses, sample skits, and guidelines for local radio spots to recruit volunteers. This wasn't a fleeting whim. It was a meticulously documented mission that became her master project as fame faded and longevity became both gift and responsibility. Why keep this secret? Family members explained that Betty refused to announce it while she was alive because she feared it would draw attention away from day-to-day interactions with people of all ages. She wanted genuine, unscripted relationships, not photo ops or publicity stunts. By preserving the initiative under wraps, she ensured her vision would stand on its own merits, without the glare of celebrity. And by revealing it 2 years after her death, her family believes they honor her humility and her belief that true impact doesn't require a spotlight. In the coming segments, we'll explore how Betty's Bridge is poised to launch in pilot cities as early as next spring, how local leaders and former colleagues of Betty White are stepping forward to champion the cause, and how this secret project may be the most significant legacy she ever left behind. You'll hear from educators, social workers, and senior citizens whose lives already bear the imprint of Betty's hidden blueprint. and discover how a new generation is ready to embrace the laughter, wisdom, and connection she so fervently believed everyone deserved. When the envelope was finally unsealed, the room fell silent. Betty's daughter, lined with tears, gingerly lifted a stack of hand-typed letters bound by a faded ribbon. An attached note warned each page carried the weight of a centenarian's unspoken promise. Legal counsel, present to authenticate signatures, took notes in hushed tones. Experts scanned every line for potential copyright conflicts or trademark entanglements. Yet the real treasure was neither a will nor financial instrument. It was a living blueprint, brimming with practical directives. Family members traded glances, recognizing that this was no mere memorial artifact. They faced a choice: file the documents away or breathe life into Betty's vision. With a collective breath, they agreed to bring her dream into the world. They knew her warmth would guide every step forward. From the outset, family lawyers and nonprofit advisors mapped a pilot rollout in 3 strategically chosen cities: Portland, Oregon; Charlotte, North Carolina; and Madison, Wisconsin. Each location embodies diverse demographics and social challenges: urban youth needing mentorship, rural seniors longing for connection, and communities in between. Letters of intent from local school districts and senior centers bore official seals. Educational boards approved curricula schedules, while architectural teams began adapting meeting rooms into flexible, intergenerational hubs. Municipal grants, already pledged by sympathetic mayors, promised matching funds for facility upgrades. A philanthropic foundation, whose name will be publicly disclosed at launch, committed seed money to cover volunteer training and initial operational costs. Press embargoes protected the reveal, ensuring city leaders could celebrate an initiative rooted in Betty's empathetic foresight. It truly felt momentous. Central to Betty's Bridge is a unique curriculum that interlaces storytelling workshops with life skill exchanges. Seniors, many with decades of professional and personal expertise, volunteer to mentor small groups of youths in areas like creative writing, basic financial literacy, and conflict resolution. In return, younger participants lead interactive classes on technology, teaching smartphone navigation, social media basics, and digital photography. These reciprocal sessions occur twice weekly, moderated by trained facilitators to ensure supportive environments. The program's design emphasizes shared authority. Seniors retain final say over content, while teens help shape session themes. Each meeting culminates in a collaborative project, whether a published zine composed of participants' stories or a community art installation. This model, vetted by child development specialists and gerontology experts, mirrors Betty's belief that mutual respect fosters genuine intergenerational bonds. Local response to the announcement has been overwhelmingly positive. In Portland, volunteers lined up for an orientation session even before the official press conference. One senior, a retired teacher named Louise Hargrave, described the proposal as a chance to rediscover purpose and connect with eager minds. Across the country in Charlotte, youth advocates praised the program for addressing social isolation among elders and accelerating leadership development in teenagers. City council members in Madison celebrated the partnership as a blueprint for civic renewal. Educators and community organizers have already begun coordinating kickoff logistics, reserving library meeting rooms, recruiting facilitators, and assembling resource packets. Media outlets planned in-depth profiles on pilot participants, promising an authentic look at how laughter, learning, and mutual respect can heal generational divides in neighborhoods everywhere with lasting impact. According to the family's timeline, Betty's Bridge will launch its pilot phase early next spring, with formal ceremonies in each city slated for March 21st, Betty's birthday. Modular spaces, designed by an architectural collective specializing in adaptive reuse, will transform underutilized rooms into welcoming hubs. Movable partitions, adjustable lighting, and comfortable seating grids foster a safe, yet dynamic atmosphere. A detailed operations manual, drafted by Betty's chosen consultants, outlines every aspect: volunteer recruitment, background checks, conflict resolution protocols, and feedback loops to refine programming. Seed funding covers the first 18 months of activity, ensuring the initiative gains traction without immediate fundraising pressures. Beyond financial backing, a network of alumni volunteers, including actors and educators who were longtime friends of Betty, has already pledged time and expertise, dedication. On the day of the official unveiling, Betty's granddaughter will co-host a press conference streamed worldwide. Attendees include educators, city officials, and even some of Betty's closest television colleagues, who will share recorded video messages endorsing the initiative. A short documentary, produced by the family's media company, is set for release that same afternoon. It intercuts archival footage of Betty's humor with behind-the-scenes planning sessions and interviews with family advisors. Viewers will receive a clear call to action: volunteer as a mentor, donate to local chapters, or propose new pilot sites. As the world watches, the hope is that Betty's Bridge sparks similar programs beyond the initial 3 cities. Ultimately, this secret project, conceived in quiet confidence, promises to redefine legacy, proving that the truest secrets are those that change lives. Forever as the first blossoms of March unfold, the 3 pilot hubs of Betty's Bridge prepare to swing open their doors for an inaugural week of intergenerational exchange. Volunteers and participants gather at repurposed community centers, an old library wing in Portland, an underused YMCA hall in Charlotte, and a refurbished agrarian cooperative building in Madison, each outfitted with Betty's modular design touches: cushioned chairs, writable glass partitions, and tables laid in concentric circles to dissolve barriers. In earlier days, such rooms served simply as multi-purpose spaces, but Betty's vision transformed them into living classrooms where laughter resonates alongside life lessons. Local staff complete an intensive orientation led by trainers selected by Betty herself, covering empathy-driven facilitation and unique team-building exercises that prime groups for genuine connection. Among this first wave of participants, 2 stories capture the spirit of Betty's dream. In Portland, 80-year-old Harriet Dawson arrives with decades of teaching experience, but has struggled with loneliness since her husband's passing. Across from her sits 16-year-old Malik Ortiz, a high school junior navigating family instability and low self-esteem. Under a soft glow of window light, they share their first exercise, crafting a duo story where Harriet narrates her childhood in small-town Iowa, and Malik sketches those scenes on paper. Afterward, Malik leads a session on basic coding fundamentals, patiently guiding Harriet through tablet apps. As Harriet's smile grows, she beams. "He's teaching me more than I thought I could learn." Their laughter echoes through corridors, forging memories that defy generational divides. Behind the scenes, Betty's Bridge operates on a secured digital platform that centralizes volunteer resources, session plans, and feedback logs. Built on open-source frameworks, the portal features password-protected access points for facilitators to download materials ranging from printable memory journals to digital choreography guides for icebreaker games. A built-in chat function allows mentors to coordinate mid-week check-ins, while an anonymous survey tool collects daily reflections on mood, engagement, and learning outcomes. In an early test run, coordinators spotted trends showing participants with at-risk backgrounds reporting a 30% boost in social connectedness within 2 weeks. This marriage of empathy and innovation stands at the heart of Betty's secret project, highlighting her belief that technology can amplify genuine human bonds. Quantitative metrics are complemented by qualitative stories captured weekly by documentary teams. Videographers film candid interviews in each hub, preserving seniors recounting forgotten memories and teenagers writing impromptu thank-you notes that become keepsakes. Clips are reviewed by the family's editorial board, which curates highlights for a quarterly impact report distributed to stakeholders. Early data reveals 0 incidents of disengagement, a rare achievement in social programs, and a 95% satisfaction rating from participants. The family plans to publish this first impact report at the pilot's midpoint in September, using real-world evidence to refine curricula, secure additional funding, and chart a roadmap for national expansion. Looking beyond the initial 3 cities, Betty's family has already mapped a list of 10 potential expansion sites chosen for diverse cultural and economic contexts. From a coastal fishing town in Maine to a metropolitan arts district in San Antonio, each future hub is pre-assessed for facility readiness, local leadership enthusiasm, and community investment potential. Memoranda of understanding stand ready for regional partners, awaiting activation once the pilot proves sustainable. The strategic plan even includes mobile units, vintage RVs retrofitted as pop-up Betty's Bridges, to serve remote areas while permanent centers take shape. Community ambassadors, many of whom once cheered Betty's golden-era television appearances, will now lead local volunteer recruitment and sponsorship efforts. As the secret blueprint moves into the public realm, Betty's family has committed to a living legacy model by forming an independent nonprofit board to govern the initiative's evolution. Board members include educators, gerontologists, and longtime friends who understood Betty's gentle leadership style. They will convene quarterly to review analytics, share on-the-ground stories, and approve new modules, ensuring each chapter of Betty's Bridge remains true to her original vision. By embracing structured adaptability, this initiative stands poised to flourish beyond a static memorial and become a dynamic force for community healing. While Betty may never have sought recognition for this labor of love, the world will now bear witness to her most profound secret, that the true measure of a life is not in awards or accolades, but in the bridges built between hearts. The official public premiere of Betty's Bridge felt like the reunion the world never knew it needed. On a crisp March morning, Betty's granddaughter stepped to a podium beneath fluttering city banners that read, "Bridging Generations. Betty White's legacy lives on." Local news cameras whirred as community leaders, educators, and former television colleagues of Betty smiled in the front row. The hush in the crowd spoke volumes. Everyone sensed the gravity of a hidden dream finally set free. Then the granddaughter broke into laughter, recounting Betty insisting, "Don't build bridges without a little flair." At that moment, 3 pilot cities bridged their own divides, honoring a secret decades in the making. Voices from each community were beamed live to screens behind the podium. In Portland, the school superintendent praised Betty's foresight. She saw seniors and teens as equal partners, not charity cases. In Charlotte, a local pastor recalled how his congregation's youth choir collaborated with nursing home residents on a spring musical, an event Betty scripted years ago in her coded notes. In Madison, the mayor revealed the city council had quietly adjusted zoning laws to fast-track adaptive reuse of an old barn into a bridge hub. Each city's story underscored the secret blueprint's uncanny prescience and Betty's unique ability to ignite collective goodwill. Behind these headlines, partnerships formed the program's backbone. The philanthropic foundation whose seed funding made the launch possible was unveiled. The Eleanor and Josephine Trust, dedicated to honoring trailblazing women who champion social cohesion. Alongside, local Rotary clubs and Kiwanis chapters committed volunteer hours, while educational nonprofits agreed to provide facilitator training at no cost. Corporate sponsors like a major telecommunications provider donated Wi-Fi hotspots to ensure digital inclusion, and a national bookstore chain pledged paperback donations for each bridge site's reading nook. These alliances showed how a single secret plan could mobilize an entire ecosystem of goodwill. Program modules now roll out in thematic cycles. Spring focuses on storytelling and creative arts, where seniors demonstrate life sketch watercolor techniques, while teens choreograph interpretive dance. Summer themes spotlight health and wellness. Yoga sessions for mixed age groups led by teenage fitness instructors. Heart-healthy cooking classes taught by retirees who once ran restaurants. Fall modules emphasize finance and civic engagement, mixing generations on mock city council boards to craft community proposals. Winter celebrates memory preservation, pairing seniors' memoir fragments with teens' podcast editing skills to produce audio legacies. This rotating schedule keeps engagement fresh and ensures skills flow both directions. Already, a handful of standout stories hint at deeper impact. In Portland, 92-year-old Navy veteran Marjorie Perez taught computer gaming basics to a group of 6th graders, only to learn they'd helped her record an oral history of her wartime service. In Charlotte, a shy teenager named Malik found his voice after facilitating conversation circles for isolated residents. So much so that he's now pursuing a social work degree. In Madison, a retired principal and an aspiring coder teamed up to create a simple mobile app that tracks bridge attendance, volunteer hours, and qualitative feedback. These vignettes echo Betty's core conviction: people heal one another when they teach and learn together. To sustain these outcomes, Betty's Bridge deployed a two-tier governance model. A national advisory council, comprised of gerontologists, child psychologists, and veteran educators, meets quarterly to refine curricula based on impact reports. At the local level, community advisory boards include past participants who rotate every year, ensuring the program never ossifies. Facilitators receive ongoing professional development via monthly webinars, covering topics from trauma-informed conversation techniques to basic hardware troubleshooting for older volunteers. By balancing top-down guidance with grassroots leadership, the initiative safeguards Betty's original vision while remaining responsive to each community's needs. Digital infrastructure remains a hidden marvel. A custom web portal now tracks real-time analytics, attendance patterns, volunteer retention rates, and sentiment analysis gleaned from post-session surveys. Automated alerts flag slipping engagement so coordinators can intervene early. Secure video archives let new facilitators view recorded best practice sessions filmed by documentary crews. And a co-branded mobile app connects intergenerational pairs for optional meetups, chat prompts, and collaborative projects beyond licensed venues. Betty's secret plan anticipated this tech layer long before such tools became mainstream, demonstrating her uncanny ability to blend heart and strategy. Public reaction has spurred further momentum. National media outlets are planning feature stories spotlighting the ripple effect, how smaller towns now lobby to become pilot sites, how private foundations eye multi-state funding, and how celebrity friends of Betty are pledging promotional support. A well-known talk show host tweeted, "Never too late to build bridges," verbally donating airtime to showcase success stories. Major universities are exploring research partnerships to measure long-term impacts on loneliness and youth self-esteem. This confluence of publicity and data creates a feedback loop, amplifying both awareness and credibility. As Betty's Bridge phases into its second quarter, focus shifts to scalability. A mobile bridge bus prototype, an RV reimagined as a self-contained mini-hub, is slated to tour rural counties this summer. Portable kits packed with foldable chairs, lapel mics, and digital tablets will let coordinators launch pop-up sessions in places lacking permanent infrastructure. Simultaneously, curriculum developers are mapping bridge-in-a-box kits for international adaptation, complete with translation guidelines and cultural customization suggestions. These next steps aim to honor Betty's belief that connection knows no boundaries, geographic or generational. With the initial launch triumph behind them, the family and community leaders look ahead. A commemorative plaque featuring Betty's signature and the slogan, "Laughter and Learning Forever," is being installed in each hub. Annual Bridge Awards will honor exceptional mentorship duos, with winners featured at a national ceremony held every March. But beyond the ceremonies, the true legacy lies in the laughter echoing across table circles, the unexpected high-fives between people decades apart, and the simple joy of shared purpose. In revealing this secret 2 years after she died, Betty White gave the world a gift that truly keeps on giving. Following the triumphant spring launch, Betty's Bridge has transitioned from a secret pilot to a recognized movement, earning endorsements that extend far beyond local city halls. National philanthropic organizations have begun drafting partnership agreements, pledging multi-year funding to sustain each hub while inviting new communities to apply for startup grants. A major healthcare insurer announced it will underwrite wellness modules in future cycles, providing free health screenings and nutrition workshops alongside Betty's curricula. Meanwhile, a leading technology company has volunteered to supply updated tablets and cloud storage for digital archives, ensuring every story and skill exchange is preserved for posterity. Together, these alliances illustrate how an idea seeded by one icon can mobilize entire industries toward intergenerational solidarity. At the state level, Betty's Bridge has inspired legislators to explore formal support for community-based mentoring. In Oregon, a bipartisan bill proposes matching grants for any county approving a bridge site, effectively doubling local investment. North Carolina lawmakers have introduced a resolution designating March 21st as Intergenerational Connection Day, honoring Betty's birthday by encouraging statewide volunteerism. Wisconsin's governor commended the program in her annual address, calling it a living example of how laughter and learning transcend age. These measures reflect an emerging consensus. Bridging generations can alleviate the social isolation epidemic while nurturing future leaders. If enacted, public funding will amplify Betty's blueprint, embedding her secret initiative into civic infrastructure. On the digital front, innovation accelerates program reach. The nonprofit board has greenlit development of a virtual bridge room, an immersive online environment where participants separated by geography can still share story circles and skill exchanges via avatars and real-time video. Early tests have paired seniors in rural Maine with high schoolers in urban Detroit, allowing them to collaborate on digital murals and spoken word performances. Positive feedback has spurred plans for an open API, enabling similar models to pop up in retirement communities and youth shelters worldwide. By marrying Betty's human-centered design with cutting-edge tech, Betty's Bridge positions itself at the forefront of intergenerational innovation. Research and evaluation remain central to program integrity. A consortium of universities has launched a longitudinal study tracking cognitive health, social connectedness, and academic outcomes among participants. Preliminary findings indicate significant boosts in seniors' mood stability and youth's self-efficacy, metrics that align precisely with Betty's original objectives. These academic partners also host annual symposia where facilitators, scholars, and community leaders share best practices and refine pedagogical models. This rigorous approach ensures that Betty's Bridge evolves based on empirical evidence rather than tradition alone, preserving the initiative's promise to adapt to emerging social needs. Personal testimonials continue to illuminate the initiative's impact. In Portland, senior volunteer Carl Hammond, age 93, credits his renewed sense of purpose to tutoring a group of middle school writers in memoir techniques, later watching one student's essay win a statewide contest. In Charlotte, teen facilitator Jasmine Lee recalls how crafting a community garden proposal alongside nursing home residents taught her public speaking skills she now uses in debate tournaments. Madam Lee's foster parents described newfound confidence and empathy that transformed her school performance. Such stories, captured in video diaries and shared on social channels under #Betty'sBridge, underscore the initiative's capacity to reshape individual trajectories one heartfelt connection at a time. Financial sustainability planning has also advanced. The Eleanor and Josephine Trust has established an endowment fund, seeded by Betty's estate and matched by early corporate sponsors, to secure core operations for the next decade. Local hubs are encouraged to develop modest revenue streams, such as art therapy workshops and community potluck fundraisers, that keep participation free for underserved families while reinforcing grassroots ownership. Grant writers within each pilot city now pursue supplemental awards from foundations aligned with aging, youth development, and public health. This hybrid model, blending philanthropy, public funds, and community enterprise, reflects Betty's ethos: purposeful collaboration rather than reliance on a single funding source. Looking beyond the United States, Betty's Bridge is already capturing international interest. Representatives from Canada, the United Kingdom, and Australia have requested pilot frameworks, intrigued by the program's balance of low-tech charm and scalable design. Translation work is underway for French and Spanish editions of the curriculum, and early talks suggest partnerships with European senior centers keen to replicate the model. While global adaptation will require cultural customization, the core principle remains universal. Mutual respect flourishes when people of different generations learn and teach one another. Through these emerging dialogues, Betty's secret project may soon touch lives on every continent. As Betty's Bridge settles into its first full year, the secret legacy Betty White entrusted to her family has blossomed into a movement capturing hearts and shaping communities. Her once-hidden blueprint now stands as a testament to the power of unspoken promises and the profound change they can unlock. In 4 pilot cities, thousands have already felt the warmth of shared stories and discovered talents they never knew they had. With evidence-based practices, robust funding structures, and a growing global network, the initiative she crafted in silence is poised to redefine how societies honor both age and wisdom. Betty's biggest secret, revealed 2 years after she died, reminds us that true legacy isn't measured in fame or fortune, but in the unexpected bridges we build between lives. 2 years after the secret unveiling of Betty's Bridge, its pilot cities stand as living tributes to Betty White's visionary compassion. What began as a hush held within a family vault has blossomed into a movement bridging generations, cultures, and communities. Volunteers record skyrocketing emotional well-being reports, while youth participants report newfound confidence and seniors experience renewed purpose. Each chapter of this ongoing story underscores how humility and strategic planning can spark systemic change, transforming quiet dreams into tangible legacies that outlast lifetimes. Looking ahead, the National Advisory Council and local boards are collaborating to refine and expand curricula, ensuring each module remains responsive to evolving societal needs. Workshops on digital literacy and mental health first aid are slated for fall cycles, while new partnerships with universities will integrate research on cognitive benefits and community resilience. Volunteers from diverse backgrounds now co-design pilot phases, bringing fresh perspectives and co-owning the program's evolution. Betty White's original stipulation, "Celebrate laughter and learning as equals," guides every innovation, keeping the initiative anchored in her playful spirit. Communities nationwide are taking note. Grassroots organizers in small towns and urban centers alike have begun drafting applications to become official bridge hubs. In Kansas City, a coalition of librarians and social workers is converting an old train station into a bridge annex complete with recording studios for oral histories. In Miami, bilingual modules will facilitate English-Spanish exchanges, honoring multicultural traditions. Each new proposal undergoes rigorous review by the Advisory Council, balancing local autonomy with fidelity to Betty's blueprint. This measured rollout ensures scalability without diluting the program's core values of mutual respect and shared discovery. Funding models evolve as well. The Eleanor and Josephine Trust has pledged to match local fundraising up to a fixed threshold, incentivizing community co-ownership. Crowdfunding campaigns complement grants, with alumni participants sharing personal testimonials online to attract new donors. Corporate sponsors underwrite technology updates, while local businesses host benefit nights where residents share bridge stories with neighbors over potluck dinners. This hybrid ecosystem spreads financial risk and fosters stakeholder investment. Crucially, Betty's Bridge remains free and accessible, honoring her ethos that social connection must not be gated by cost or circumstance. Education allies have embraced the project's potential to combat ageism and youth disengagement. Teachers report improved classroom dynamics when students return from bridge sessions energized and empathetic. Senior volunteers credit intergenerational mentorship with sharpening their cognitive agility as they relearn modern tools and language. Preliminary studies from partner universities suggest lower rates of depression among older participants and higher retention in school among young attendees. Policymakers are watching closely, considering how similar frameworks could be integrated into national service programs. In this way, Betty White's secret initiative might influence public policy far beyond local community centers. Social media, once the realm of lighthearted celebrity banter, has become a powerful amplifier for real-world impact. The hashtag Betty's Bridge trends during peak session times, with snapshots of laughter, skill sharing, and heartfelt embraces flooding feeds. Influencers and media personalities have joined calls for volunteer signups, while local journalists spotlight individual success stories in community pages. This organic publicity bolsters recruitment and sustains momentum, proving that authentic storytelling remains the most persuasive form of promotion. In honoring Betty's belief that connection transcends fame, hashtag Betty's Bridge embodies the union of heartfelt purpose and modern communication. As the world embraces this once-hidden legacy, the ongoing narrative of Betty's Bridge invites us all to become bridge builders in our own lives. It challenges us to reimagine public spaces as sites of shared learning, where age is neither barrier nor boundary. It demonstrates that a single idea, nurtured privately over years, can blossom into a global blueprint for empathy. 2 years after her passing, Betty White's greatest secret has emerged not as a relic of the past, but as a living testament to the power of intergenerational friendship. In countless small rooms and digital forums, Her laughter continues to foster hope and connection. As we close this chapter, consider how each of us might answer Betty's call. Will we step forward to mentor a curious teen or learn from a seasoned elder's lifetime of experiences? Will we champion spaces where every age can share wisdom and wonder? Betty's Bridge reminds us that meaningful legacies often unfold in quiet moments. The handshake after a lesson, the smile sparked by shared storytelling, the courage born from intergenerational solidarity. By embracing this secret project, we honor not only Betty White's extraordinary career, but her unwavering belief that every life holds lessons worth bridging across generations. Join the movement, become part of the bridge, and carry forward her legacy. Betty's vision shows us that the smallest act of kindness can span time, unite strangers, and echo joy across ages.